Whoa, we're nearly at the end. This is part 9 of the top 10 questions of 2018. This is Create and Destroy. You're listening to Jordan Jan, and I'm about to break down a networking question. It might seem a little bit dry, so it's going to be short and sweet for you. This is Create and Destroy. I'm Jordy. Thanks for listening. So this question here, I get asked especially from first-time entrepreneurs that are normally a little bit introverted. They might have a tech background or just a little bit maybe younger and a little bit more shy. And they most likely haven't worked in sales or in retail or hospitality. And they might have fallen maybe an academic path. And so they ask, Jordy, man, how do I meet people? And they're normally a little bit timid and shy to ask. And it might not be in exactly those words, but essentially they're saying, look, I know I need to meet people. I know I need to network. Everything that I read about business is always talking about networking and meeting the right people, but I just don't know how to do it. So this is going to be short and sweet and really easy for you. To meet people, you need to show up. It might sound kind of a little bit crazy and a little bit silly, but it's fucking obvious, man. If you want to meet people, you need to show up to the place. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to events and I've told a young entrepreneur, mate, you should really go to this event because I've seen some of the people that are going and I think that, you would really benefit from meeting that person. You should go. And yeah, no worries, man. I'll see you there. No worries, I'll see you there. And they just don't show up. And next time I see them, I go, why aren't you there? Oh, yeah. And it's always some bullshit excuse. And, my cat was sick, my dog ate my homework, whatever it was. And that's totally fine because, you reap what you sow. So if you don't want to show up and that's not, not your thing, that's totally cool, but you can't complain about it. So tip number 1, you need to turn up to the event. Not every event's going to be beneficial. Not every event's going to be great for you, but it's a numbers game. If you show up to 100 events in a year, I guarantee you're going to make great connections and you're going to meet some people. Now, I'm going to pretend that you took this to heart and you've shown up at an event and you're going to show up and you're going to be real timid and shy and you don't know how to network. This is the first time you've been to something like this. And it might be a businessy thing or even better, some sort of, pitch night or startup-y sort of thing. If you're in those worlds, it might be a creative morning. It might be a range of events. There's heaps of things going on out there across the world. So what you want to do is you want to be the leader. You want to be directive and take direct leadership. And this is stealing advice from the Tuckman, leadership model. And you need to be really assertive and you need to be clear. So you walk into the room, you're going to be there by yourself. What you're going to do is you're just going to see somebody and there might be somebody else standing by themselves. And I want you to be that upfront person. I want you to walk up to them. You do this crazy thing when you chuck your hand out in front of you and guess what? That person's going to grab the other side of it. You're going to shake hands and you're going to say, hey, I'm Jordy. I'm a designer. How are you? What do you do, man? And they might reply, hey, I'm Susan. I'm a UX designer. And this is the first thing that I've been to. And then you can go, me too. How crazy is this? And guess what? You now know a UX designer and Susan knows a graphic designer. And holy shit, you've got a business connection. It was that easy. Now, I know I overextended it, but that's essentially what happens every single time. You might walk in and say, I'm Jordy, the graphic designer. And somebody might say, hey, I'm a orthopedic surgeon. And you might not see the connection straight away, but one day that person might recommend you to somebody else, and that's how business is made. Might not be direct. So show up, shake their hands, and just have a chat. Now, little hot tip here. This is pro tip version. Is don't be that dick that rocks up and just starts throwing business cards around at everybody. I can't tell you the amount. It would be thousands, absolute thousands of business cards I've thrown in the bin. And that's really funny to say as a graphic designer who's designed literally hundreds, if not thousands, of business cards for people. But if I want your information, I'm going to ask you. And that will be because I can see that you can help me in some way. Equally, if you meet Susan, the UX designer, and you go, shit, I might need a UX designer one day, you should say, hey, Susan, so great to meet you. Hey, you don't have a card by any chance, or even better, do you have an Instagram? Can I just add you on Instagram? Because who knows, I might need a UX designer one day. And now you've created a real connection for a real reason, rather than going, hey, I'm Jordan, here's my card for graphic design, and move on to the next person in the room. You need to create real value for this person and a real connection. So this falls into a little theme called luck. And I want to be really clear with you. Luck is bullshit. Doesn't exist, guys. It might look like it exists, but I can assure you that luck is the result of hard work and consistency. It's the result of showing up time after time, meeting people for the right reasons, and creating value. That is what luck is. Some other people call it serendipity. And so let me do some math for you. Guess what serendipity is? It's turning up plus offering value plus being kind to one another and listening to the person you're talking to. That there is what serendipity is. And that there is what luck is. Luck just doesn't fall out of the sky and just happen. It might look like it does, but luck is serendipity from being at the right place at the right time 100 times before it works. So, one last thing to round out this short and sweet episode on networking is something that you all need to remember. And I try to remind myself of this all the time. You need to give before you can get. What I mean by that is you can't just start extracting value from a network or from a person or a situation before you add value into that ecosystem. Think of it like an economy or like a bank. Unless you're getting a credit card, you can't just start withdrawing money from the bank, right? If you're going to open a bank account, you need to give into that bank account before you can withdraw from the bank account. So let's replace money with karma. You need to give good karma out there to attract it back, right? Everyone's, I'm sure, aware of this little phenomenon that happens around the place. Might not be very obvious to a lot of you out there, but I assure you it works. So you need to give into a community and give before you can get. So that there, guys, is part 9. We've got one more. We're getting through it. Hope you're learning a whole bunch, taking notes. This is Create and Destroy. I'm Jordan Jan. Thanks for listening. As always, hit me up with any questions, DM, email, you know the drill. And part 10 coming up. Thanks for listening. You.